Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of the Carvel Community Meeting. This is our second meeting of 2022. And if you are watching this from home and as a recording on YouTube, we encourage you to come join us live. We meet every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. It's an opportunity for you to come and hang out with the maintainers, other community members. You can just sit and listen, or if you have something you need help with regarding Carvel, if you have any questions or any feature requests, it's just a good way for you to ask that live and also have others learn from those for anything that we discussed in the meeting. When you do come, if you have something to say, just put it down here in the discussion topics area and we'll get to it towards the end of the meeting. And if you aren't able to join us live, you can still find us and reach out to us on Slack in the Kubernetes Slack workspace within the Carvel channel or on Twitter at Carvel_dev. And of course, you can find us on GitHub as well. And as a reminder, for anything that you're interacting with us at any of those platforms, please read and abide by our code of conduct. Today's date is February 10th. And for the agenda today, just reminder, if you are using any of the Carvel tools, we'd like to know more about your usage with Carvel. So please click on this link, go to the pinned issue on the Carvel repo and answer the prompt that's in there. And if you want to be added to the adopters page, we would love to showcase you there and put your logo up on that page. For those that are attending, please be sure to add your name and any organization you're representing to the attendees list. And on to announcements. Just a reminder, we have the Carvel community feedback survey out. It's just a way for us to know more about how folks in the community are thinking about the tools, if there's any requests that they have, and as well as if you have any feedback regarding the community meeting, we'd love to know your thoughts so that as we're rolling out into this new year, we can start iterating and changing things up to best meet the needs of the community. On to some content stuff. Last week, we launched the community content sharing plan. So what this is that we are focused on sharing Carvel content weekly, and that's through any medium. So through a blog post, video, workshop, demo, webinar, whatever, that the person would, however the person would like to share their Carvel knowledge, we would like to showcase that. So if you're interested in sharing a use case or something you find interesting in the way that you use Carvel and you want to share that with the community, please click on the link and go to the weekly content sharing and add your name and the topic and type of medium you're going to be using to the date of your choice, and we'll publish it, and as well as we'd love to send you a t-shirt as a thank you. So if you have any questions regarding that, just find us on Slack and we'll be happy to answer any concerns or questions you have there. So regarding that, this week's content, we have posted a blog, and this is by one of our former Carvel maintainers, Daniel Helfand, and he goes over provisioning and using vClusters with Carvel. So give that a read. We'll also tweet it out and put it on Slack. Let us know what you think about that, if you have any feedback or anything you want to share there. Now, as far as other outside content that doesn't necessarily relate to this content sharing plan, there's a webinar coming up on Tanzu TV. That's February 22nd at 12 p.m. Pacific time. This is with Scott Rosenberg, and he'll be going over Carvel packaging as a unified package manager for Kubernetes. So be sure to check that out. Now, on to status updates. Anything regarding the roadmap? Any updates here from last week to go over? Any blockers or changes here?
No updates or changes. We are actively planning. I will just note that this is like currently the roadmap is what I consider to be like the bigger boulders, epics type of features that are being tracked here. If you don't see a tool listed here, it is still actively maintained and addressing issues. They just aren't necessarily large items of work that we're trying to schedule into our roadmap. But yeah, we'll continue to update this as we make progress.
Great, thank you. Okay, speaking of the backlog, as you mentioned, is there anything the YTT is working on this week? Any status updates from last week regarding YTT?
There is one thing I want to mention. I'm working on writing stories for YTT guides currently. So if you have any ideas of guides that you would like to see or examples that you think are good usages of YTT in other environments, please, reach out in the Carvel channel. I'm very interested to hear what you think there.
Computer's going slow as I'm writing notes. I'm gonna have to write them later. All right, anything regarding CAP? Aaron, do you have anything? I know that they're continuously working on improvements to CAP.
I don't know off the top of my head. I'd have to look at the backlog.
Okay. What about KBuild or image package?
Okay, so let's bundle them together again this week. So still working on making sure like dependencies are all up to date. There was an update for KBuild. Someone contributed an extraction of the resolve function so they could use it as a library. So some of our tools, we are starting to provide some resemblance of an API that that we'll be able to use. This is for KBuild. For image package, the main chunk of work has been, there were some dependencies that needed to be updated, but our tests in Windows are very flaky. So the main work that has been happened this week is we're trying to change. We were using an external registry to because there was no image that contained like a registry that we could run on a Windows machine. So we were using an external registry. That external registry is not helping us a lot. So we are changing, we're trying to get an image that is a registry in Windows that we can use to have some more confidence that everything is working, because we were getting an error in one of the tests consistently, but when you run the tests, when you run the test like in a local environment, everything works. So that's basically what has been happening on the last couple of weeks for image package.
Great, thanks, Joel. What about kapp-controller? Anything that the team is working on this week there?
I think, I don't want to steal Ben's thunder, but maybe the most interesting thing is we're working on our OpenShift compatibility.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that about sums it up.
Sorry, I'll give you your thunder back some other time.
Thanks.
What about vendor, secretgen-controller?
I'm not aware of any active, or actually the secretgen-controller. It's also been did one small lift.
Yeah, it's just around imported secrets now no longer carry with them the like labels and annotations of the original secret. It's kind of a behavioral change, but we're getting some feedback that that was causing problems.
And that I don't think we cut a release, so
No, that's true.
that'll go out in a future release.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Joe. Is there anything the team wishes to discuss regarding Carvel?
Sorry, this might be unrelated or like a very small thing, but for vendor this week we merged a PR that allowed us to follow the other tools on how they are releasing. So now the release process for vendor is a little bit simpler, where we just need to push a tag to the repository, and it will do the required steps to generate a release for us. And then when we publish the release, it will update the homebrew formula for vendor, and it will also update the website when you're downloading vendor, the versions. So that work is automated now, and it makes it much easier to also get vendor out the door.
Yeah, it's probably worth calling out that there's been some kind of like behind the scenes features that have been somewhat of a focus for the team regarding like release automation, improving our security posture. Not necessarily things that, you know, we I guess call out as a part of a specific tool that often, but that has been something that's been a bit of a focus for the team.
Great. Thanks, Aaron. Thanks, Joelle. Okay, so any discussion topics? Anything that the team wants to bring up right now that we're all together? Going once, twice. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining this week's edition of the Carvel community meeting. Again, if you're watching this from home, we encourage you to come join us live. We would love to meet you and know more about you. And if you have any questions regarding the Carvel tool suite, we're eager to help. And with that, just have a good rest of your day, and we hope to see you soon.